The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths, the deception of deceptions. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
What happens when the crowd rejects the superstar the media spent 2 full seasons building from the ground up? That's not a rhetorical teaser. It's the giant neon sign hanging over the 2025 WNBA All-Star vote. For months, we were flooded with headlines crowning Angel Reese the future of women's basketball, the engine of league growth, the cultural lightning rod, the face of a new era. Her name lit up billboards, her quotes clogged timelines, and her endorsements stretched from fast food combos to diamond chains. Yet, when fans finally got their single, undeniable digital say, the answer was a resounding not yet. Caitlin Clark, armed with a flamethrower jumper and a calm grin, nearly tripled Reese's totals in the opening ballot returns. Tonight, we're diving deep into how hype collided with box scores, why followers aren't the same thing as fans, and what that reality check means for every marketer who thinks you can crown a champion before the opening tip. Because here, at Hoops and Her Story, we chase the truth the game tells, no matter how uncomfortable the echoes get.
Well, the first returns are coming in on the WNBA All-Star voting. Of course, it will be in Indianapolis. And as you can imagine, Caitlin Clark is leading the All-Star vote. By the way, it looks like a massive turnout, to be honest. Second straight year that Clark has led the fan voting. She was second in early returns in fan voting in 2024, but jumped to first with around 700,000 total votes by the end of the period. So I'm wondering, are we going to see 1 million votes this time? Because I saw somebody earlier that said, so far, voting is actually way up versus exactly where we was at this time last year.
The Angel Reese media push didn't happen by accident. It was a perfectly choreographed TikTok waltz. By the end of 2024, she'd stacked a 7-figure endorsement list that would make a first-round NBA rookie jealous. Forbes splashed her across a splashy pull-quote spread. ESPN's morning shows recycled the same 10-second clip of her declaring, "We're the reason people tune in." The WNBA's official Instagram posted Reese-centric reels 3 times a week, even when her stat line hovered in the low 30s, field goal percentage-wise. It looked like a coronation. The league badly wanted a pop culture lightning rod to lure casual viewers. Sponsors love a self-proclaimed hero, especially one who delivers digestible slogans. For a while, it all worked. Her nickname, Bayou Barbie, trended across fashion blogs. Her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, dropped viral sound bites like clockwork. The optics screamed inevitable. But coronations work only if the peasants, meaning the paying public, are willing to cheer at the castle gates. The trouble was brewing quietly in the comment sections. Fans questioned shot selection, questioned shooting touch, questioned whether charisma could compensate for clanking bunnies from 3 feet out. Even believers started whispering, "Great rebounds, sure, but where are the buckets?" That murmur turned into a roar when the ballots went live. The WNBA uses a weighted formula. Fans get 50% of All-Star starter votes, while players and media split the rest. Translation: the public verdict can't be spun. On launch weekend, the league's app crashed twice. Not because everyone was spamming Reese, but because Caitlin Clark heads stormed the gates. In 8 days, Clark collected 515,993 votes. Angel Reese logged 173,363, placing her a distant 13th. That gap, 342,630 clicks, outnumbers the full-time residents of major metro areas. Numbers that big punch through every debate desk monologue. When TV hosts tried to defend the disparity, they had to start with, well, you can't argue with arithmetic, and arithmetic argued back loudly.
Caitlin Clark has 3 times the amount of votes. 3 times the amount of votes as Angel Reese. So there you go. I suspect Sophie Cunningham's numbers are going to grow after what we've seen. Somebody said, I saw some things online about they sold $1 million worth of Sophie Cunningham jerseys, and something in the neighborhood of 12,000 all went out one day.
Fans left breadcrumb clues all over social media. Love the swagger, but I want efficiency. Talk to me when the FG percent starts with a 4. Clark's bombing logo threes while Reese misses layups. This is easy. You could feel marketing departments backpedal mid-tweet. The bright, shiny narrative balloon had sprung a hole, and the air evacuated in real time. Reese's Instagram surpassed 3 million followers by mid-season, but third-party analytics flagged a suspiciously high chunk of dormant or bot-like accounts. That's not unique. Every celebrity collects spam, but it fueled a growing storyline. Are we looking at genuine fandom or algorithm padding? TikTok stitched comparisons showing Clark trending for dagger threes while Reese trended for press conference side-eye. Bots can click follow. They can't tap vote. Sponsors pay for reach, yes, but reach without resonance is an empty echo chamber.
There's a supposed, people keep telling me, supposed second most popular player in the league that doesn't look like the second most popular player at all. And in fact, a rookie I have been touting that is playing better than Angel Reese, Kiki Arifin. Well, basketball fans are showing up, and they have got her voted ahead of.
Meanwhile, Clark turned doubters into believers one arena at a time. She shattered single-game attendance records in Indiana, Phoenix, even opposing gyms that had to move sections to the upper deck. Families drove 6 hours just to witness one trademark cross-court laser. After those nights, they grabbed their phones and kept reliving it, often by punching in her name on the ballot. That human buzz can't be faked with code. Let's put the raw digits side by side. Angel Reese, 11.3 points, 11.9 rebounds, league leading, no shade there, 38.5% from the floor, 27% beyond the arc, 2 blocks in 19 games, solid boards, shaky everything else. Caitlin Clark, 19.9 points, 8.7 assists, 41.2% shooting while eating double teams for breakfast, plus the intangible heat check moments that push broadcasters into octave ranges usually reserved for opera. When the sky visited the fever, Clark detonated a 29-point, 10-assist clinic. Reese hustled for boards, but finished 4 for 14. Fans aren't heartless. They respect grit, but they also own calculators. Hustle that ends in empty trips won't beat highlight reel threes that ignite comeback wins.
Didn't shoot a single free throw. Although she did have 12 rebounds, her average, which does lead the league. But a couple of times Angel drove it and flung up just these wild shots from 3 or 4 feet that missed the rim by, 3 or 4 feet. Just looked so ridiculously awkward, like she'd never even played basketball.
Critics coined the me-bound meme. Rebounds snagged off your own mispad stats, but they don't pad the scoreboard. Twitter kept a running counter. Every time Reese snagged an offensive board, someone posted, "Great hustle, now hit the layup." That sarcasm stings because it's rooted in truth. While the Reese versus Clark discourse hogged headlines, multi-tool monsters quietly snatched nearly 500,000 votes apiece. Napheesa Collier averaged 24-9 with lockdown defense. Aaliyah Boston protected the rim like a velvet-lined fortress while finishing at 60%. Rookie Kiki Iriafen stacked efficient double-doubles without a single billboard. These women did everything: score, pass, switch on to guards, sink free throws under pressure. Voters noticed. No slick slogan needed. That's a serious clue for the league's brand architects. Fans reward fullness, not single-skill hype.
Napheesa Collier, who is probably the leader of the MVP pack right now, is at 485,000. Aaliyah Boston is third, 447,000, as she should be. Aaliyah should get some MVP conversation, I'm going to be honest.
Angel Reese's swagger is her brand. She claps back on X. She flexes the too small gesture. She peppers interviews with unapologetic bravado. The edge draws eyeballs. Networks live for viral spice. But there's a razor-thin line between compelling and combustible. In June, she brushed off a reporter's question about her viewership impact with a frosty next question. The clip exploded, splitting viewers into Team Queen and Team Thin Skin. A week later, she barked at a ref, collected her third technical, and reignited the "is she hurting chemistry" talk. Controversy juices algorithms, but it also fatigues casual watchers who came for basketball, not dramatic monologues. Clark, by contrast, rarely feeds the outrage cycle. She gives short, grounded answers, then walks back on court and lets tall ball do the boasting. Audiences, especially new ones, gravitate toward that steady hum more than constant fireworks.
These numbers are 100% accurate, and Angel Reese is the 13th most popular player in the WNBA. This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game.
The WNBA desperately wants mainstream traction. 4 years ago, executives watched the NBA rocket ship of social media highlights and tried to replicate the formula. Find a charismatic rookie, build a myth, sell the myth. But 2025 proved you can't hack authenticity. Fans cross-reference, screenshot, and fact-check in seconds. When the narrative says unstoppable superstar but the numbers say 13th in voting, the disconnect is exposed before halftime. Sponsors adjusted on the fly. Gatorade launched a fueling-focused mini-doc on Collier's 5 a.m. workouts. Nike greenlit a series featuring Boston's rim protection masterclass. Brands discovered that raw, measurable impact converts to sales way faster than borderline manufactured flash. Meanwhile, Reese's camp began floating stories about expanding her range, improving footwork, soaking hours at the free throw line. A tacit admission that the myth needed matching evidence.
I know Kelsey Plum is likable. She's a lovely lady, but you mean to tell me she's more popular than Angel Reese? The same Angel Reese who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list, 173,000 votes.
Enough to tell you where Angel Reese's place is. Well, it's 13th place. And I can tell you right now, Jonquel Jones ought to be ahead of her.
Here's the blunt takeaway. You can't coach speak your way into fans' hearts. And you can't dance challenge your way onto the All-Star starter list. The modern viewer juggles a second screen, advanced metrics, and a DVR loaded with every angle. They're immune to the old-school highlight package brainwash. They want receipts. They want win shares, clutch time shooting splits, and a reason to cheer beyond a witty tweet. That doesn't spell doom for Angel Reese. She's 23, she rebounds like a magnetized pogo stick, and her motor will never be questioned. Add a dependable mid-range jumper, tighten footwork around the rim, hit 70+% at the stripe. Suddenly, the stat columns align with the swagger and the narrative reboots. Fans are generous. Show growth, and they'll vote in droves. Show the same flaws next season, and they'll scroll past to the next breakout.
There is obviously no way Angel can compare to Caitlin Clark as a shooter or a passer. And there is no way Angel can live up to her dynamic social media / podcast presence as a shooter or a passer or even a shot blocker. She's blocked only 2 shots so far this season. She doesn't even do that.
In 2025, the fans didn't simply expose a myth. They rewrote the marketing manual. They declared that charisma without conversion is like a jersey without a nameplate, flashy, forgettable, and tossed aside when the stitching frays. Caitlin Clark earned her crown through numbers, and Nafisa Collier, Aaliyah Boston, plus a wave of underhyped grinders proved that substance still sells. If Angel Reese wants the title the league tried to hand her, she now knows the toll. Finish those point-blank looks. Stretch the defense. Keep the fire without scorching your own brand. For everyone watching, remember this. Leagues can suggest. Advertisers can amplify. Pundits can pontificate. But the pulse that decides stardom is the collective heartbeat of millions of eyeballs and thumbs. It beats for winners. It beats for highlights rooted in results. And it beats for authenticity every single night. So to every future phenom ready to ride the next hype train, pack your stat sheet because the track is littered with crowns that were never earned. And to the fans who fired off 500,000 votes and rewired an entire storyline, keep voting and keep watching Hoops and her story.